Another MVP candidate was in action last night. James Harden dropped 38 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists against the Bucks. And I know his assist average is up this year, but other than that, in terms of his minutes played and his points and even his rebounds, it's pretty much the same from last year or very similar. But why does this year, Geltzy, feel so different?
It's defense, it's leadership, it's him having skin in the game and wanting to, and really, being a part of the fabric of this team. Last year, James Harden acted as if he was better than everybody on his team. And he played on the floor as a guy who really was just out there getting numbers. It wasn't necessarily all about what can I do to lead my team to victory. And I know people made a lot of his numbers last year, but they were hollow, they were empty because the leadership aspect wasn't there, because he absolutely dogged it on defense. This year, he is totally engaged on the defensive end of the floor. It's funny. I heard Daryl Morey, the GM of the Rockets, say a few weeks ago that he considers James Harden an asset defensively. And I tell you, although Harden will never be a wonderful defensive player, I totally agree with him, because when Harden is engaged and playing with intense effort on defense, which he has the large majority of this season, which is one of the reasons the Rockets have been so successful, everybody else rises to the occasion. It makes your good defenders like Ariza and Beverly better players out there, because when James is engaged, everybody's engaged. They take their emotional cues from him. And emotionally, he's been exactly where he's needed to be from moment one. Between the contract extension, between him having input into what they did free agency-wise, so he's got skin in the game with guys like Gordon and Anderson, and especially with getting rid of Dwight Howard, not bringing him back and making Capella the guy. Harden was very much behind that move. And then you have Mike D'Antoni, where Harden played a role in him getting hired. So Harden is all in here emotionally, and you see it on the floor. And so much of what guys do, we're in a society now, and I'm not going to go off on a tangent here for a minute, but we're in a society where everybody thinks that when it comes to basketball, the whole Twitterverse thinks it's all simple with stats, plus minus, better with this guy on the floor than off the floor. And all that stuff matters to a certain extent, but none of it exists in a vacuum. It's all about context. And James Harden was allowed to help create the context that he wanted around him. And that's the number one reason he's been able to lead the Rockets in the way that he has this year. Stats be damned.